crimes under the leadership of Kars. It was, in fact, the polytheists who had initiated such acts. No wonder, for such ill behavior is imminent in their natural disposition. Shortly afterwards, the two captives were released, and blood money was given to the killed man's father. After this event, Quraysh began to realize the real danger that Medina could present with. They came to know that Medina has always been on the alert, watching closely their commercial caravans. It was then common knowledge to them that the Muslims in their new abode could span and extend their military activities over an area of 300 miles and bringing it under full control. However, the new situation borne in mind, the Meccans could not be deterred and were too obstinate to come to terms with the new rising power of Islam. They were determined to bring their fall by their own hands, and with this recklessness they precipitated the great battle of Badr. The Muslims, on the other hand, and at the behest of their Lord, were ordered to go to war in Shaban 2 and fight in the way of Allah. Those who fight you, but transgress not the limits. Truly Allah likes not the transgressors, and kill them wherever you find them, and turn them out from where they have turned you out. And al-fitna, polytheism or calamity, is worse than killing. And fight not with them at al-Masjid al-Haram, the sanctuary at Mecca, unless they first fight you there. But if they attack you, then kill them. Such is the recompense of the disbelievers. But if they cease, then Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful, and fight them until there is no more fitna, disbelief, and worshipping of others along with Allah. And all and every kind of worship is for Allah alone. But if they cease, let there be no transgression except against az-zalimun, polytheists and wrongdoers. Before long, Allah again sent to the Muslims a different sort of verses, whereby teaching them ways of fighting, urging them to go to war, and demonstrating relevant rules. So when you meet in fight, jihad, in Allah's cause, those who disbelieve smite at their necks, till when you have killed and wounded many of them, then bind a bond firmly on them, take them as captives. Thereafter is the time either for generosity, free them without ransom, or ransom according to what benefits Islam, until the war lays down its burden. Thus you are ordered by Allah to continue in carrying out jihad against the disbelievers till they embrace Islam, are saved from the punishment in the hellfire, or at least come under your protection. But if it had been Allah's will, He Himself could certainly have punished them without you, but He lets you fight in order to test you, some with others, but those who are killed in the way of Allah, He will never let their deeds be lost. He will guide them and set to right their state, and admit them to paradise, which He has made known to them. They will know their places in paradise more than they used to know their houses in the world. O you who believe, if you help in the cause of Allah, He will help you and make your foothold firm. Shortly afterwards, Allah began to dispraise the hypocrites, the weak at heart and cowardly elements. But when a decisive surah explaining and ordering things is sent down, and fighting jihad, the holy fighting is mentioned, ordained therein, you will see those in whose hearts is a disease of hypocrisy. looking at you with a look of one fainting to death. The prevalent exigencies required as a top priority exhorting the Muslims to fight. Any leader with a deep insight would order his soldiers to get ready for any sort of emergency, let alone the all-knowing, exalted Lord, who is at all times omniscient of the minutest details of affairs. The event of that skirmish with the polytheists dealt a heavy blow to the pride of Quraysh and created a sort of horrible restlessness amongst them. The aforementioned Quranic verses enjoining the Muslims to strive in the cause of Allah betray the proximity of blood clashes that would be crowned by a decisive victory for the Muslims and final expulsion of polytheists out of the sacred city Mecca. They referred to rules pertinent to the treatment of captives and slaughtering the pagan soldiers till the war ended and laid down its burdens. All of these could act as clues to a final triumph that would envelope the strife of the Muslims towards their noble objectives. Another event of great significance featured the same month Shaban, 2 February 624 AD, which was a divine injunction ordering that Al-Qibla be changed from Jerusalem to the sacred mosque in Mecca. That was of a great advantage to the Muslims at two levels. First, it brought about a kind of social shifting, so to speak, in terms of the hypocrites of the Jews and others weak at heart, and revealed their true nature and inclinations. The ranks of the Muslims were thereby purged from those discord-prone elements. Second, facing a new Qibla, the sacred mosque in Mecca refers gently to a new role awaiting the Muslims to take up, and would start only after the repatriation of the Muslims to their sacred city Mecca, for it is not logical for the Muslims to leave their Qibla at the mercy of non-Muslims. The Muslims, therefore, at the behest of Allah and on account of those divine clues, augmented their activities and their tendency towards striving in the cause of Allah and encountering his enemies in a decisive battle were greatly intensified.